and welcome to a new series called Faking It. In this series, I'm going to show you how you can achieve effects or paints without buying them. So how you can use the materials you've got to achieve really cool effects. I saw a paint about a week ago when I was digging through Amazon looking at the Daniel Smith range because I don't use those paints, and I was just looking at some of them that seemed interesting, like Moonglow that everyone raves about, and I saw one called Rose of Ultramarine. Now I haven't actually bought it to try it out. I can only base these observations on pictures of it I've seen, but it's a mixture of ultramarine blue, which is PB29, and Quinacridone Rose PV19. And what it claims is that the blue granulates and sort of sits above a layer of the pink purple, and so that you get this kind of two-tone effect. And I wondered whether I could achieve that myself, because I know from using Potter's Pink with dye-based colours, that's a heavily granulating colour, that I can get exactly that effect of islands of granulating colour sitting above a sea of a different colour. And I wondered whether I could do it. So the ones that I chose to use, rather than the normal French Ultramarine 263 from Winsor & Newton, I've actually used a different ultramarine. I've used 667, which is ultramarine green shade, and basically it's a slightly less red version. I used that just because I thought it would give me a less perfect effect. The French Ultramarine is already very red, and I was just curious to see what would happen. And I used Permanent Rose, which is pure PV19, to give me the effect. So what I did is I mixed an equal sized blob of each of them straight from the tube on my palette, and then I painted that out neat, and that's this here. So that's with a tiny bit of water, just enough water on the brush to mix them, and then I added increasing amounts of water, and I think everyone will agree it's a beautiful colour. But do we get the effect that Daniel Smith rave about? Do we get that effect of a sea of pinky purple with the granular ultramarine sitting on top? Well, not immediately, but actually at the bottom, these are at a 40-degree angle. You do get more of that granular colour sort of sitting, and as you dilute it more and more, you do get some quite interesting effects of different levels of granulation. And this is where I really noticed it, is when it's been sitting at an angle and that gives the blue a chance to settle, it kind of works. Now on that really dilute version, you can see all over this area little speckles of the blue. So I think if I put more blue in and a bit less pink, I could well have achieved exactly that. But from a distance, these do look the same as the Daniel Smith Rose of Ultramarine. So if you're interested in that colour but want to save some money, you certainly can mix it yourself. I would recommend finding the most granular ultramarine that you can, and I would also suggest adding a little bit of granulating medium. Might make it a bit more granular when you do it. You could also get the same effect by painting the pigment Violet 19 down at first. It's a pretty staining colour. It'll stick to the paper. Mix your ultramarine with granulating medium and paint that over the top. And if you've got it dilute enough, the pink will show through. So yes, you probably can fake Rose of Ultramarine. That's just my view on it. I'm not advocating undermining Daniel Smith's business. But if you just want that effect but don't want to pay £10 for a tube of paint to try it out, there's a way that you can achieve it yourself.